So yesterday we started automatic payment program and we have configured 2 steps, right? Now, set up all company codes for payment transactions. So what is the meaning of all company codes? Here, different scenarios will be there in the real time. For example, you have 2 company codes under your group. In that case, sometimes one company code can make the payments to vendors of another company code, provided both the company codes belong to same group. Say, for example, we have the ABC group. Under the ABC group, we have 3 company codes: A company code, B company code, C company code, right? Then A company code can make the payments to vendors of B company code and C company code. Similarly, B company code can make the payments to vendors of A company code and C company code. Then again, C company code can make the payments to vendors of A company code and B company code. Like that, one company code can make the payments to vendors of other company codes, provided all the company codes are belong to same group. And sometimes, right, when you have the multiple company codes, right, there will be a separate entity to process the payments to vendors of all other company codes, right? In that case, that separate entity also will be created as another company code. So if you have this type of functionalities, right, we have to set up all the company codes for the payment transactions, right? So while doing this step, I will explain you the other concepts relating to setting up of all company codes for payment transactions. So path is same as above. I hope server is working fine now. Is it okay after we change the IP address?
Yes, sir, it is okay. It is working fine.
So path is same, SPRO. Financial accounting, accounts receivable and accounts payable, business transactions. Exactly. Not intra-company Srileka, intercompany. It is just similar to intercompany transactions, not intra-company. Intra-company means within the company.
Yes, sir.
Intra-company means within the company codes.
Okay, sir.
I will explain you now. That same concept I will explain you now. Business transactions, outgoing payments, automatic outgoing payments, payment method, Banco selection for payment program. See, set up all company codes for payment transactions. Click on new entries. Company code is equal to SSKH. Company code is equal to SSKH. Sending company code SSKH. Paying company code SSKH. I will explain you what is the meaning of sending company code and paying company code. Then separate payment per business area. Select separate payment per business area. Select maximum cash discount. Select maximum cash discount. Click on save. So what is this sending company code and paying company codes? Say, for example, we have 2 company code 1 and a company code 2, right? So in this case, company code 1 is making the payments to vendors of company code 2, okay? In that case, company code 1 is called paying company code, right? Company code 2 is called sending company code. So in the paying company code field, you enter the company code 1, and in the sending company code field, you enter the company code 2. As a result, what happens, right? I told you, when the system prints the checks, the system automatically clears the open items of the vendors, right? In that case, when the company code 1 has made the payments to vendors of company code 2, in which company code the vendor open items are to be cleared? In the company code 2. That means in the sending company code. So whatever the company code that is entered in the sending company code field, the system will clear the open items of that company code vendors, right? See, the system clears the line items of the vendors in this company code. So when the company code 1 has made the payments to vendors of company code 2, right, intercompany business transactions takes place. Intercompany business transactions takes place. Means in both the company codes, 2 accounting entries are to be posted. For example, in the sending company code, right? So vendor OP items are clear, no? So vendor account debtor to paying company code. So the sending company code has to pay later on to the paying company code. So paying company code is to be credited in the sending company code books. Then in the paying company code, right? Sending company code account is debited because the company code 1 has to receive the amount later on from the company code 2. So it is just like a customer. So in the company code 1, that means in the paying company code, the sending company code is debited and the actual bank balance in the paying company code is reduced, right? So to bank. Here, sending company code is the company code which is known to the vendor. Do one thing in this slide, right? Write down 1 point. Sending company code is the company code. Sending company code is the company code which is known to vendor. Which is known to vendor. So here, the vendors of sending company code knows the sending company code only. They don't have any relationship with the company code 1, right? So that is the meaning of setting up all company codes for payment transactions. So in this case, company code 1 is making the payments to vendors of company code 2, right? That's why here SSKH. So sending company code is SSKH, paying company code is SSKH. Suppose, right? Sometimes the case may be vice versa also. Means company code 2 can make the payments to vendors of company code 1, right? In that case, again, you have to repeat this step. Then in the company code place, you enter the second company code. Then sending company code 1, right? Paying company code 2. So for each pair of company codes, you have to do these 2 steps. But when the system prints the checks for another company code vendors, it has to post accounting entries in both the company codes. For that purpose, we have to do some automatic account settings, right? So how to process the intercompany transactions, we have the separate topic on that, right? That we'll cover later on. But for the time being, remember that there is the possibility for the intercompany transactions. Now, separate payment per business area. Right down there. By selecting this check, please put it, okay, in the middle itself, you can write down only 1 sentence. Separate payment per business area. By selecting this checkbox, the system groups the invoices. The system groups the invoices as per the business area and prints the checks accordingly. And prints the checks accordingly. And prints the checks accordingly, comma. When the vendor has supplied the materials, for multiple business areas. Okay. Suppose you have the 5-6 business areas, right? Then the vendor has supplied the materials to all the business areas. Then the system will print the checks according to business areas. Then next to put heading, maximum cash discount. Just a minute. Here below the step you have some space, right? Select maximum cash discount is there, right? Right down there. Here itself we can write it down. By selecting this checkbox, the system will consider the maximum cash discount terms. The system will consider the maximum cash discount terms in the payment terms to determine the due date. And prints the checks accordingly. Means what? Say, for example, one vendor is there. So we purchase the materials from him and he has given these payment terms, like if paid 7 days, if paid in 7 days, 3% cash discount. Otherwise, if paid in 14 days, he will give 2% cash discount. Otherwise, if paid in 21 days, right, 0% cash discount. 0% cash discount. So this is called payment terms, right? So here, this is payment term number 1, and this is payment term number 2, and this is payment term number 3. That's why this is called terms of payment, right? So here, today we are executing automatic payment program, right? And today is the 7th day for the invoice, right? Then the system automatically select this invoice and it will print the check after reducing 3% cash discount. Because it is the maximum cash discount terms, right? So in the first term, there is a maximum cash discount. So the system, if it is the 7th day today, the system will pick that invoice and print the check after reducing 3% cash discount. It will not wait for the completion of 14 days, 21 days like that, right? So this is called right? Write down this. Over the concept. Now, see the next step. Set up paying company codes for the payment transactions. Write down there. In this particular step, we configure for printing of payment advice. We configure for printing of payment advice. for printing of payment advice. While doing the step, again I will explain. Path is same as above. See, set up paying company codes for payment transactions. Click on new entries. Paying company code SSKH. Minimum amount for incoming payment 100. Maximum amount for outgoing payment 100. Sorry, minimum amount for incoming payment and minimum amount for outgoing payment 100. Click on Forms button. Form for the payment advice. Payment advice means covering letter, right? So F110_D_AVIS, which is the system defined standard form. Form for the payment advice F110_D_AVIS. Then click on send the details. So the payment advice is printed in this form. Click on send the details, scroll down. Text ID ST. So in this printing, in the payment advice, right, what should be the text? Standard text. Letter header is equal to F_0001_header. Footer is equal to F_0001_footer. I will explain you. Signature text, leave it blank. Sender, F_0001_sender. Means, payment advice just like a letter, right? So every letter contains 3 parts: header part, body part, footer part. So in the body part, right, standard text should be there. In the header part, whatever the text that is available in this form is printed. In the footer part, right, whatever the text that is there in this form will be printed. Then in the sender details, the details which are available in this form are printed. That's how we do the configuration for the printing of payment advices. Click on Save. Now, creation of GL account, bank account. So the payments are to be done through bank only, right? So we have to create the bank GL account. Already we have created in the house banks, right? Then creation of house bank and assign GL account number in the house bank. This step also we have done already. Then creation of check lots. The check lots also has been already created, right? So all these 3 settings we have done in the house banks, right? So step number 5, 6, 7 need not be done again, right? Do one thing. Against these steps, you put one tick mark. Sorry, into mark, right? Against the step number 5, put one thing into mark. Then here is step number 6 also, put one into mark. And step number 7 also, you put one into mark. So step number 5, 6, 7 need not be done again. Then creation of house bank and assign GL account number in the house bank, right? So what does it mean? Sorry. Step number 5, 6, 7 we have done already, right? Then step number 8, set up a bank determination for payment transactions. So what does it mean? What is the thing we do here? In this activity, we can set up the ranking order for each combination of house bank and payment method. For each payment method in every house bank, we can set up the following parameters. Number 1, the account ID from which the payment method is to be used. Account ID means account, current account or working capital loan account. They are called account IDs, right? So from which account ID the payment method is to be used. Then the bank GL account to be updated for that account ID. Then the amount to be used from that account ID. Then the number of days for which the amount is to be kept in the bank. So what does it mean? Say, for example, in your client company is having 2 house banks, HSBCM and HSBCA. So in the 2 branches, our client is maintaining the accounts, right? Now, in the client company, right, we are implementing 2 payment methods. C for check payment B for bank transfer, right? So we are implementing two payment methods. In this case, both the payment methods can be used from both the house banks, right? Then in every house bank, you have the two accounts. In the HSBCM, we are maintaining current account and overdraft account. Similarly, in the HSBCA house bank, we are maintaining current account and working capital loan account. Okay. In that case, see, it is possible that we can use both the payment methods from both the house banks, right? From the HSBCM, you can issue the checks, you can do the bank transfer. From the HSBCA house bank, you can issue the check, you can do the bank transfer, right? In that case, at the first instance, for each combination of a house bank and payment method, you set up the priority order. Like what? In the HSBCM, for the check payment method, right? I want to give the first preference, ranking order number 1. Then in the HSBCM house bank, for the bank transfer, I want to give ranking order number 2. Then in the second house bank, HSBCA, for the payment method check, I want to give third preference or ranking order number 3. Then in the second house bank, same, for the bank transfer, I want to give least preference, that is ranking order number 4. Like that, at the first instance, for each combination of a house bank and a payment method, we can set up the ranking order, right? Now, in the HSBCM, right, house bank, we are maintaining two accounts, like current account and overdraft account. Then the checks are to be printed from which account? Current account or OD account? That we can specify. Say, for example, right, when the system is printing the checks from the HSBC bank, I want the system to print the checks from HSBC current account. HSBCC current account. That is the account ID. Clear? Now, when the system is printing the checks from the HSBC current account, what is the bank GL account to be created? HSBC current account GL account number 2,01,01. That we have to specify. Now, in the HSBC current account, right, we have 10 crores funds available, right? Now, out of this 10 crores, how much funds you want to use for check payment method and bank transfer payment method? I don't want to use total 10 crores for the check payment. If that is the case, I don't have the funds to do the bank transfers, right? So out of this 10 crores, right, I want to use only 4 crores for the check payment method and remaining 6 crores I want to use for bank transfer payment method. That we can define, that we can specify, right? Then in the HSBC current account, for how many number of days the 4 crores are to be kept? That means for how many number of days the funds should be kept in the bank till the checks issued by us are collected by the vendors. Like that, for each payment method, right, in every house bank, we can specify for which account ID the payment method is to be used. In that case, which bank GL account should be created and how many funds should be used and for how many number of days the funds should be kept in the bank. So all these parameters are defined for each payment method in every house bank, right? They are called bank determination. That is called bank determination. Clear? Path is same as above. See, set up bank determination for payment transactions. Click on position. Click on position button. Paying company code is equal SSKH. Click on enter. Select the company code line. Select the line item SSKH. Double click on ranking order. Click on new entries. Payment method is equal to C, check. Payment method is equal to C, check. Currency INR, rank order 1, House Bank HDFCL. See, in the HDFCL House Bank, for the payment method check, I want to give the first preference. Then, if you have the second payment method B, currency INR, ranking order 2, HDFCL. Like that, for each combination of a house bank and payment method, we can set up the ranking order. Click on save. Then select the line item. Double click on bank accounts. Click on new entries. House Bank, HSBCL, House Bank, HSBCL. Okay. Payment method check. Currency INR, account ID. So from the HDFCL House Bank, when we are using the payment method check, from which account ID the checks are to be printed? If you press on F4, right, you can see 2 account IDs, right? So I want the system to pick the checks from HDFCC, current account. So account ID is equal to HDFCC, bank sub account 2,01,101. So bank GL account 2,01,101 is to be credited. So what is the account 2,01,101? HDFC Bank current account. Click on save. Then double click on available amounts. Double click on available amounts. Click on new entries. House Bank is equal to HDFCL, account ID HDFCC. For how many number of days the funds are to be kept in the bank? 999 days. Days is equal to 999 days. Means the funds will be kept in the bank for 999 days. That means the system, right? 999 days means till the vendor presents the checks and they are paid by the bank. Currency INR, available amount 1 crore. I want to use only 1 crore for this payment method. Click on save. So this is called bank determination. So here, all these steps we have done in the separate paths, right? But there is one transaction code wherein we can configure all the payment program settings, right? Do one thing. Here some space is there, no? Right down here. We can configure all the above steps. We can configure all the above steps in one transaction code. FBZP. In one transaction code, FBZP. FBZP, right? Look at the screen. Here, if you go to FBZP, see payment methods in the country, first step, right? Then payment methods in the company code, second step, according to the series we have done, right? Then all company codes, then paying company codes, then house banks, then bank determination. You can go on clicking on one by one, right? Tab, you can do the settings. Then you can close it. You can go back. Then you can click on next tab. So like that, you can set up entire payment program in this FBZP transaction code. Right? Now, assign payment method in the vendor account. So we have to assign the payment methods in the vendor account. Transaction code XK02. XK02 means change vendor master record. Already we have created vendor master records, right? Now we have to assign means again we have to change. But in the real time, first we configure the payment methods. After that, while creating the vendor master records, based on the requirement, we assign the required payment methods. What is that? XK02. Okay. Company code is called SSKH. Vendor is called #1851. Select payment transactions under the company code data. Just a minute. Yes. Select payment transactions under the company code data. Click on enter. So select payment transactions on the company code data. Click on enter. Payment terms 0001. It was already assigned, right? Then select check double invoice. It is also already selected, right? Then payment method C. Payment method C. Check. Look at the screen. Here you can see the field payment methods. That means we can assign multiple payment methods in the vendor master record. Write down on point there. We can assign multiple payment methods in one vendor master record. In that case, the system will select the payment methods. The system will select the payment methods in the order they are entered. In the order they are entered in the master record, in the vendor master record, in the vendor master record, in conjunction with the minimum amounts, in conjunction with the minimum amounts and the maximum amounts. defined for the payment method in the setting set up payment methods for company code, set up payment methods per company code for payment transactions. Click on save. Means what? See, here in the vendor master record, right, we have assigned, right, C for check, B for bank transfer, right? Then in the second step, set up a payment methods per company code for payment transactions. See, set up payment methods per company code for payment transactions. So SSKH. See, here, minimum amount. For example, we have set up a minimum amount 1 lakh, right? Then maximum amount 5 lakhs, right? Then click on save. So one vendor is there. Vendor, what is that vendor? Our vendor 1851, right? So today we are executing the automatic payment program. Okay. So for the vendor for the vendor 1851, right? Invoice amount. $7 lakhs. Invoice amount is 7 lakhs, right? In that case, first of all, the system will verify the payment method sequence. So first we have assigned C, after that B, right? So first preference is payment method check, right? Now, what is the minimum amount for the payment method check? 1 lakh. So it is eligible as far as minimum amount is concerned. But what is the maximum amount? 5 lakhs. But what is the invoice amount? 7 lakhs. So system will not select the payment method check. So the system will give the first preference to check payment method, but it's not available here as per the limits. So it will go for the bank transfer. Suppose if the invoice amount is 1,25,000, the system will use the bank transfer. Clear, no? That's how we can assign the multiple payment methods in the vendor master record. Then the system will use the payment methods in the same sequence in conjunction with the minimum amounts and maximum amounts assigned for the payment method in the setting, set up a payment methods per company code for payment transactions. Click on save. Then invoice posting. Let us post some invoices now. Let us see how to use the payment program. Okay. F-43. Document date is 24/2/2023. Type is KR. Company code SSKH. Posting date 24/2/2023. Period 11. Currency INR. Posting key 31. Account is 1851. Account is 1851. Click on enter. Amount is equal to 1 lakh. business area SSKH, payment terms 0001, baseline date 24/2/2023, text being goods purchased, text being goods purchased, posting key 40, account is 2,120,000. Click on enter. Amount is asterisk. Business area SSKH, text plus. Click on save. So let us post one more invoice for the same vendor. Even though it is not there in the material, right? Let us post one more invoice. Document date is 24/2/2023. Type is KR. Company code SSKH. Posting date 24/2/2023. Period 11. Currency INR. Posting key 31. Account is 1851. Click on enter. Amount is equal to 2 lakhs. Business area SSKH. Business area SSKH. Payment terms 0001. Baseline date 24/2/2023. Text being goods purchased. Posting key 40. Account is 2,120,000. Click on enter. Amount is asterisk. Business area SSKH. Text plus. Click on save. Now you posted 2 invoices. Now let us execute automatic payment program to see how the system prints the checks. But before that, from the entry point of view, we have to understand some concepts in the execution of automatic payment program. Here, there are 4 phases in the execution of automatic payment program. Number 1, parameters. Number 2, proposal. Number 3, program. Number 4, print. So these are the 4 phases. So at each phase, what happens? Right? Let us see. Parameters. In this phase, the user enters the selection criteria such as the company code, payment methods, next payment run date, and vendor number range to be considered in the payment line. That means here in the selection criteria, the system has to find out for which company codes it has to execute the payment program, what are the payment methods it has to use, what is the next payment run date, and for what vendors the invoice are to be analyzed to see whether they are due or not. So the system should know all this information, right? So this information is entered by the user in the selection parameters. See, selection parameters. Under the selection parameters, company code SSKH, right? Then payment methods, C, okay? Then vendor range 1851 to 1950, 100 vendors are there. So these are called selection parameters. Okay, next, Number 2, second phase, proposal. Based on the parameters entered, the system identifies the vendors who have become due as on the date of executing the automatic payment program. And for every vendor, right, it identifies only those invoices which have become due. This is called proposal. That means here, based on the parameters entered, the system identifies the vendors who have become due, right? And due, who have become due means as on the executing automatic payment program, as on the date of executing automatic payment program. So today we are executing automatic payment program, right? So today, first of all, the system will identify who are the vendors due. For that, how the system analyzes the invoice, I will explain you later. Here I'm explaining you only the proposal. The system identifies the vendors who have become due today. And for every vendor, it identifies what are the invoices due today. These are called proposal. Means proposal, right? See, in this 100 vendors, right? Today, 1851 vendor has become due. Then 1859 vendor has become due. Then 1865 vendor has become due. Let us assume just only 3 vendors have become due, right? Then for every vendor, it will also identify the invoices due. Invoice number, amount. For this vendor also, invoice number, amount. For this vendor also, invoice number, amount. See, for the 1851 vendor, invoice number 112, amount to 15,000. For the, again, invoice number 123, amount 25,000. Then invoice number 133, amount to 1 lakh. So for this vendor, 3 invoices have become due today. Then for 1859 vendor, right, invoice number 178, amount to 1 lakh. For this vendor, invoice number 187, 2 lakhs. For this vendor, invoice number 198, 10,000. Similarly, for the vendor 1865, right, invoice number 122, amount 90,000. Then invoice number 145, 10,000. Invoice number 146, 15,000. This is called proposal. So based on the parameters entered, the system will identify those vendors who have become due today, right? So today, these 3 vendors have become due. Then for every vendor, it will also identify the invoices which have become due, right? For the 1851 vendor, these are the 3 invoices due. For the vendor 1859, these are the 3 invoices due. For the vendor 1865, these are the 3 invoices due, right? This is called proposal. It is proposing to you that I am going to print the checks for these invoices of, right, these vendors. That's how you have to interpret. You can easily understand. That's the meaning of proposal. Okay. Then this is called proposal. We can edit the proposal and we can display the proposal. In the editing function, we can change the payment method, house banks and account ID, etc. We can block invoice for payment also. That means here for the vendor 1851, right? I don't want to make the payment because there is a dispute. Similarly, for the vendor 1851, I don't want to make the payment on the first invoice because there is a dispute on that invoice regarding the quality or some other things. So till the dispute is settled, I don't want to make the payment. Then in that case, we can block it. How to block, I will show you. So this can be blocked. That's how we can edit the proposal. Clear, no? So once the proposal is over, right? program. Once the proposal is verified and authorized, the user executes the payment program. As a result, the following accounting functions are affected. It's very, very important from the entry point of view. All the vendor due line items for which checks have been printed are cleared. The vendor reconciliation accounts are updated. The bank accounts are updated. The check history is updated. The vendor account balances are updated. And the payment documents are generated. That means accounting entries are posted. Then, fourth phase, print. In this phase, the system prints the checks, payment advices, and payment summary. Clear, no? So how to execute the payment program? We will see in the next class, right? And actually, I came to yes, no. So today in India, it's Friday, right? So I wanted to take the class on Saturday and Sunday also, but here it's a weekend, no. So we are going outside this weekend. I will do one thing. I will send the recording for the same topic from the previous batch. Daily, I will send one recording, Saturday and Sunday, right? Then you listen to the recording. One by one, I will send you. Listen to the recording, do the practice. And if you have any questions, right, you can ask me in the next class. Next class will be on Monday, right? So I request all of you to cooperate with me so that our batch is not delayed, right? So daily, I will send you one recording for 2 days. For these 2 days, listen to it, do the practice. And if you have any questions, I will answer them in the next session. Otherwise, you can WhatsApp me. Because we are going outside with family, right, in USA tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening means our Saturday, India. Any questions? Again, next week I will take the live classes only. Only 2 classes I will send the recordings. Any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, then. Thank you so much. See you on Monday.